Yeah.
Alright, we're rolling.
Oh.
Yeah, what's up, Elliot?
Right.
Make an intro. Say hello, everyone. This is TSS. Go, Sam.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing a cheesy intro.
Um,
wait. No.
Why not?
Alright, so we're back,
Hi, everyone!
and... Oh, no. God damn it, Sam.
What the
We're
fuck
not
is
supposed
even
to do that.
Oh, God, that hurt.
Hello, everyone. We are the Submarine Stands. Today, we are... Hello, everyone. We are the Submarine Stands, and today we are looking at some Thomas and Friends fanfics. Today, we have Trackside Studios 06, me. We have Taillamp Studios.
Hello.
And we also have the Sodar Caterpillar.
What's up?
Or Dank, as we like to call him.
And LBSC 71.
Now, before I do share my screen, I want to give a quick little disclaimer here. Because I don't want us to get canceled. That would be bad. We're not...
That's illegal.
That's illegal. It should be illegal.
To give a long story short, we're not trying to make fun of the author.
No.
Just these stories are weird, and we respect anyone who wants to make fan stories, but
We just
like,
personally
you're making
think
a
that,
fanfic
this
about-
kind is just like, no.
remember, delete this afterwards.
Hey, Elliot.
I will.
So,
When James met Emily.
oh
Dear God. Oh, great. We're off to a great start, boys.
Off to a great start, boys! One day on the island of Sodor, James is on his way back to the yard with some empty trucks. Okay. Boy, it sure feels... I'm not sure if this is James speaking. Alright. Boy, it sure feels good to have a job... Okay. Boy, it sure feels good to have a job done, he said proudly. Not gonna lie, I would rather pull coaches all day, but instead of freight cars. But you gotta do what you gotta do, even if it's something you don't.
Okay,
like
that
doing.
does not sound like James. That does.
That's my,
This
again,
guy
that's my
does
really
not.
shitty Michael Angelis voice.
No. Your voice is alright, but
Hello?
the line that does not sound like James.
That's not
Okay,
James.
yeah,
that's not how
that,
James
yeah,
would
I'm
talk.
sorry. That no. Okay.
Say that again.
Soon
say that
James
again.
arrived at the yard, where he shunted his cars into their proper places. Then, as he was done with work for the day, at that point, he went into the washdown to have a good cleanup, and saw Edward there. Edward looked a little annoyed.
Wait, could I read Edward's lines?
Sure, why not?
What does his Edward voice
Okay.
sound like?
Ed, called James. You okay, bud?
Oh, hi, James.
You sound like a pervert right now, Joe.
Oh, hi, James.
Okay.
Edward greeted coldly.
James was
Why
immediately
am I getting so
concerned.
many-
Edward had never greeted him like that. Something
Oh,
on your
hello,
mind?
John.
James then asked.
There's a new engine on Sodor, replied Edward.
What's so bad about a new engine?
Nothing, Edward denied. It's just that the new engine was stealing Annie and Clarabelle.
Oh my God! How many times are we gonna have this? You know what? Never mind.
Oh my Jesus!
James was surprised. You mean Thomas's two coaches that used to be mine? No! Freaking, like... Never mind. James couldn't believe what he was hearing. He had never heard Edward judge someone like this. What makes you think this new engine stole them? He asked.
I saw her pulling them as I was taking my goods train, Edward answered. I've never seen any other engine besides Thomas, Percy, Toby, Duck, or even you pull them. So that's what brought me to that conclusion. Well, I might just have to find this new engine myself and see if I can find out what's really going on, James had decided. What does she look like? She's dark green with yellow lining and a tall funnel, explained Edward. Got it, James nodded. What's her name? I'm not sure, replied Edward. Sorry, that's all right, said James. I'll go find her myself. And so James set off the search for the new engine. He eventually found Thomas at the water tower topping off. Two dark green and green coaches were coupled behind him. Hi, Thomas, James. New coaches? What's it to you? Snapped Thomas. Whoa, hey, no need to get touchy, James grasped. Thomas sighed. I'm sorry, James, he said. I'm just mad, that's all. Why? You get up on the wrong side of the shed today? Well, no, Thomas replied. My day was just as good as any other day. I'm mad because Emily stole my coaches, Annie and Clarabelle. I want them back. James was amazed. Emily, he asked. She's a tall, dark green engine with a yellow. You ask? Because I'm looking for her, the number 5 engine replied. Well, good luck with that, said Thomas. She could be anywhere. Thanks, said James, and set off again. James spent all afternoon looking for Emily, but could not find her anywhere. Damn, where is that engine? James wondered aloud. Just then he saw Oliver, who was on his way home to the works to be mended.
Can I read now? Can I
It-
read now? Can I read now?
Yeah, you go. I was about to be done.
Okay. Hey, Ollie, James called. Have you seen a dark green engine named Emily at all today? Why, yes, I have, Oliver said with a smile. She actually rescued me earlier from having an accident with Thomas. Of course he got into an accident. Oliver then
No,
told James the story.
I think this is
What's up?
supposed to take place in the timeline of
Oh,
Emily.
right,
I remember, yeah.
Wow, gasped James.
Okay.
That was so brave of her. Say, do you know where she might be now? Last time I saw her was at Wellsworth Yards, said Oliver. Got it, James nodded. And so James set off for Wellsworth Yards, hoping to find Emily there. But when he arrived, there was no sign of her at all. Well, this complicates things, he said out loud to himself. Fuck!
I could have sworn she'd be here. Oliver said so. It's no use, James, said his driver. It'll be sundown soon, so we should probably head back home. You're right, Jerry, said James. With that, James set off back to Tivis Sheds. There, he couldn't believe what he saw. Right there, right in front of him, was Emily, with Thomas right next to her.
So basically, the plot of this story is James being a simp and chasing after this engine he never heard of.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm getting at, too.
That's how it, this is the story, really, if you think about it. It's like I don't think James has ever met a female engine before, and the first time he ever hears on is like, "I'm about to get that train coochie."
No.
Right.
Hi there, Emily greeted. You must be Jenny.
Can never do Emily's voice again.
I will never, but I have to. James was even more dumbfounded than before. How do you know my name? He asked. Thomas told me about you, said Emily. Fair enough, choked James. God damn it. Once James was turned around on the turntable, he backed into the berth next to Emily. You know, Emily, you're really beautiful, said James.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Simp.
Okay.
Simp. I lost.
That's ridiculous.
well-
Okay.
Simp!
Emily blushed deeply. Stop it. She giggled.
Oh,
Oh.
I told you he was getting that chain.
I don't wanna
I told
read
you
this.
he was being a simp. I told you. I told you. I told you.
Oh, I'm not kidding. Your paintwork is so shiny I can almost see my reflection in it, James added. It didn't take too long for Thomas to figure out what was going on. You like it, don't you, James? He asked with a smirk. James's face blushed very deeply.
Oh.
No.
Just
No.
read the next slides. Read the next slides. Holy
Okay,
Christ.
Again, it's okay. No, I'm not doing my cringy female voice. It's okay if you do, James.
You
Emily
should.
giggled.
You should.
I like you too. In fact, I'm kind of a sucker for red engines.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
Oh, Jesus
Oh, my
Christ.
fucking
This is.
God.
I swear to God, this author probably wrote this in middle school.
Who made this? Who
This
made
is
this?
this is how middle schoolers flirt. Trust me. I know. I was.
Well, we've all been in middle school.
Yeah, we're all in high school right now, so yeah.
Yeah, so we can make fun of middle schoolers anytime we want. Ha
Oh,
ha
yeah.
ha.
To any middle schoolers watch, when you're in high school, you're gonna look back on those years and hate yourself. You are? Asked James. Oh yeah, Emily nodded. I think your color goes well with mine. James felt flattered by this. Aw, shucks. He blushed. Who says shucks anymore?
I was about to say that, but I was like, nah, let's man be nice of you.
What's wrong with blue? Thomas asked, although he was only
What's
joking.
wrong with blue?
I like blue too, Emily giggled.
Be a
I swear if this ends
triangle.
with Thomas and Thomas having an affair with Emily, I'm just gonna die.
I
Okay.
think we all will.
Yeah. Okay. Just then, James had an idea. Say, Emily, do you want to do something together? I'm scared. I'm scared right now. Okay. Sure, Emily replied. What did you have in mind? I'll take anything, really.
Jesus Christ.
I'm getting more and more scared the deeper I read. Okay. Do you like
I'm getting my holy cross out.
Do you like movies?
How can
Do you like movies?
How
James then
did-
asked. Oh, thank God.
how do engines go see movies?
I don't care.
Just
It's
like
better
a-
than
just
what
like
I
a
think.
car.
You know, I don't care.
Just like a
Shut
car
up.
would.
This is better than what I was thinking this was going. Because there's
Hold
a
up,
lot
what's happening?
Oh, you dirty boy. You dirty boy.
See,
What's
You were
happening?
thinking the same thing, Joe. I don't even want to hear
No,
it.
I was not. I was not.
Really. When
Yes.
when Emily said
There's
I'll
an
take
outdoor
anything, really,
cinema
you
for
weren't
everything.
thinking of anything like that, really?
There's an outside cinema.
No, I wasn't.
You're a liar.
I really wasn't.
Okay.
I'm not lying.
Because there's a lot of outdoor cinema for us. But why would there be one for trains? A movie sounds good to me, agreed Emily. Great, grinned James. When do you want to go? How about tomorrow evening? Emily asked.
Sure, popcorn's on me, okay? Emily agreed and was settled. Just then, Edward and Percy arrived, both feeling guilty. What's wrong with you guys? Asked Thomas. Sir Topham had told us everything about the crossing, said Edward. He told us about Emily rescuing all of our two engines, then looked at Emily. Emily, I'm sorry I was friendly to you, sighed Edward. I don't know what I was thinking. So am I, agreed Percy. Okay, I'm just gonna do a regular voice. Emily smiled. Apology accepted, she said. This made Edward and Percy feel better. Then the pair were properly introduced to Emily, and James told them about their upcoming date.
Ooh, nasty.
Everyone shared a laugh. The following evening, James and Emily finished their work for the day, went to the outdoor cinema, and was playing SpongeBob, the SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run.
I
Has,
will.
has anyone seen that movie? Because I actually want to see it.
I haven't
I've
seen
never
it.
seen that movie.
I'm gonna see it.
I want to
I'm
go
gonna
see
see
it.
I
though.
want I want to see it too. All right. They soon had popcorn, snacks, drinks,
And drunk.
and the movie began. After
Okay.
how can
How
they
does-
eat?
How
Wait,
do
they
engines?
went.
How do engines
Please
eat?
don't go. Oh,
They went to Arlsberg Harbor and watched the sunset. Look at the sunset. It's beautiful, but not as beautiful as you.
Oh,
Can you
God.
shut
Coochie.
your
Ah!
voice?
God.
Emily giggled.
Oh,
You're a shameless, flattered James, she said, and proud of it. James laughed. And soon it began to go dark. The two engines went go timid. Soon they were fast asleep. Blah blah blah. Both had a good day. Blah blah blah. To start dating. And that's a wrap for chapter 1. What are your 4 thoughts on this?
No. stop.
I
Don't do
hated this
Okay, look,
so much.
I don't like this at all.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I
don't
don't.
think any of
I
us
don't
did.
really
Give me
care.
Physical things.
I don't think any of us like shipping in the fandom.
I mean, I personally don't care to an extent.
All right.
Like,
So.
uh,
Hey guys, it's Sam here whilst editing this video. If in the second part, you can hear my dad playing drums in the background. I'm sorry about that. You might just have to deal with that. But yeah. All right, so
Good.
we're
Obviously.
Good.
we're reading part 2, which is
When Edward,
Edward
met
met
Emily.
Molly.
I've
And-
heard of this shit before, but I never thought anyone would actually ship it.
All right, let's do this.
One night, Edward, Henry, and James were at the coaling plant. The three of them were waiting for a new engine by the name of Molly to bring them some freight cars to make some coal deliveries. It was late, and James was starting to get impatient. Ugh, where are those cars? He snapped. They should have been here ages ago. Cool it, James, said Henry. I'm sure
Who
they'll
the
be here
fuck says
soon.
cool it?
Yeah.
I don't even know why these engines would be saying it.
I-
Forget the cars, said Edward. I want to meet that new engine. Ever since Thomas told me about her special, I've been waiting to see it and her. Just then, they heard a whistle, and Thomas pulled into the plant behind Molly. Well, it's about time, James said to himself, although on the outside, he was very pleased to see the cars. But Edward seemed more interested in Molly than any in the cars. Golly, that is one swell engine, the number 2 engine said to himself. That bright yellow paint job is absolutely gorgeous. We need even more freight cars, he chuffed. I'll get them, Molly replied. And I'll help, added Thomas. Here, let me scroll down. Wait.
Of course,
You better
Thomas.
not
You're the
cock block
one
me.
and
Yeah,
only.
of course, Thomas. Here we go.
Thomas, you better not cock block me, said Edward.
Soon, Thomas and Molly were off. Man, look at her go, said Edward. And look at the way the lights reflect off her yellow paint. Edward blushed with embarrassment. Do you mean like her? Like her? Or do you mean like her? He asked. Why do you like her? I didn't say that, Edward denied. Why don't you like her? James went on. She looks nice. Edward quickly grew annoyed. I'm sorry, I'm not talking to you anymore tonight, he decided. So does that mean you like her? James finally asked. Edward just closed his eyes and let out a sigh. Okay, that's all I'm reading.
James, just stop. Henry groaned with a roll of his eyes. Fine, James conceded. But you can't deny it, you know. Lord save me. Edward pleaded under his breath. Although Edward's short prayer was barely audible, it was still answered in the form of Thomas and Molly arriving with extra cars. Here you are, gentlemen, said Molly. I'm not doing a girl voice. Why, thank you. Edward smiled. Soon, Edward, James, and Henry were coupled up to their trains and were off making their deliveries once the cars had been filled with coal. As the trio was pulling off, Edward glanced at Molly. I should get to know you, Molly, he said, although I'm not particularly fond of James's comments just then. He's not wrong about her looking nice. Plus, she's a 4
Edward is horny.
Yeah, my brother's starving. Jesus. Plus,
I only said that like 3 times now.
he's starved. He's dying.
Wait, Sam, I know the title of this video.
That brother's starving.
Let's read stories about James simping and Edward being horny.
Nah, bro.
No.
That brother stop.
No, James is a simp in other stories.
Edward is horny and other stories.
Nah, this dude's deprived.
How do you think Audrey would react to these stories?
No.
He would probably
No.
have a mass heart attack and die on the floor.
He probably already. Oh wait, no.
I'm on the floor.
I mean, if this guy was complaining about an engine and a signal rule 55 in 1991, imagine.
Oh
what
my God!
how the guy
All
would
the
react.
rules. Plus, she's a 4 engine, like I am. So that's already something we have in common. Huh? Not to mention that your colors go really well together, since his driver put in. You're right, Charlie, agreed Edward. Perhaps you could try it. Perhaps you could try and have a conversation with her after we finish the delivery, suggested the fireman. Good idea, Sydney. The 2 men's engine agreed. I'll try and do it tomorrow, because I assume it'll be very late by the time we're finished. Soon, all the coal deliveries were completed, and Edward, Henry, and James set off for home. The next morning, Edward just so happened to have the day off, so he decided to spend the day getting to know Molly. Of course, no. Of course, he didn't know where Molly was staying, so he decided to ask the top of my hat about it. He went over to Napa Station.
Edward, stop being horny. You're the first engine on Sodor. I will not allow this. Go to horny jail.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, I'm going
Edward
back to
goes to horny jail.
I'm going back to. I'm going back to.
Edward goes to horny jail and other stories.
Of course. And saw Sir Topham Hatt coming out of Station Bakery, fat ass, with a box of scones. Sir, Edward called. Sir Topham Hatt was caught completely off guard. So much so that he almost drops his scones. Goodness gracious! He cried out. Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Edward apologized. Don't worry about it, Edward, said Sir Topham Hatt. No harm done. So, what do you need? Where's Molly staying? Edward asked. I just want to talk with her. She's staying at Knapford, Sir Topham Hatt replied. Thank you, sir. Edward nodded. Any time. Wait, the fat control. Edward pulled out of the station and went to Knapford's sheds. Where, sure enough, Molly was waiting to get up to steam. What the hell was I about to say? Edward reversed into the shed next to her. Hi there, he greeted. Molly, is it? Yes, replied Molly. And you are? Edward, said Edward. I thought I'd take the time to get to know you a little. I mean, if you have time to. I do, said Molly. I'm just waiting for Sir Topham Hatt to come and tell me my job for the day. Oh, okay, said Edward. So, how do you like Sodor so far? The scenery is absolutely beautiful. Molly grinned. I mean, I've only been here since yesterday. Well, there's so much for you to see, said Edward. If you want, I can show you around the place when you're finished with your work. Yeah, but little did Edward know that his chance would come much sooner. It was then that Sir Topham Hatt arrived. All right, Molly. Yeah, all right, Molly. Here's what I'd like you to do for today, said Sir Topham Hatt. Some rail enthusiasts from the mainland are coming to Sodor for a photo tour. I'd like you to collect them and take them around the island. Yes, sir. Wait. Yes, sir. Molly puffed proudly. Edward saw this as the perfect opportunity. Sir. Oh, it's going up. Sir, would it be all right if I went along with Molly? Yes. I want to show her the sights of Sodor, and since I have the day off, I thought maybe this would be a good way to spend it. Sir Topham Hatt couldn't help but agree. Very well, Edward, he nodded. You have my permission to go along with Molly. Thank you, sir, Edward grinned. Edward then looked at Molly. I can get your coaches ready if you want.
Oh, simp alert.
Sam! He's
yo.
starving!
Simp,
He's starving!
simp.
He's starving! The
Excuse me?
brother's deprived!
My man going to horny jail.
He's
My
deprived!
man.
Oh, yeah.
Holy Jesus.
Oh, thank you, Molly. Oh, thank you, Molly said.
I just read a line. Okie dokie, said Edward. So he
No,
said to get off his
please,
coaches.
please shut. No,
That's
I'm about
not
to.
Edward.
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that.
Do you ever just look at something or hear something so cringy that your balls hurt?
Molly
That's what
said.
it feels like right now. Oh, it hurts.
Molly said. I mean, I have no trouble getting my own coaches. If you want to do it, by all means. I'm gonna be
Fucking
steady Eddie.
That's probably gonna be his sex line. Steady Eddie at the ready.
Stop.
Shut up.
Joe, go to horny jail. Thank God we're almost near the end.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
As she watched Edward leave, Molly, although she was happy at how nice Edward was being at her, was rather pensive. And
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Hell word. Real quick, I'll look that
Look it up, Sam.
I'm looking
Look it up. Look it up.
I don't like how my brother literally starving out here. He's deprived. He's going crazy.
Engaged in, involving, or reflecting deep or serious thought. Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
why did he ask to get my coaches? Molly wondered. I'm sure he's just being a gentleman, but I can't help but feel that that's just the tip of the iceberg. Sir Topham Hatt was equally as baffled. Somehow, I'm sensing something more than just treating a new engine with kindness and generosity, he said to himself, but I don't think that's any of my business. Soon, Edward had collected Molly's coaches, and the two engines were double-heading the train, which in turn was soon filled with happy rail fans. And as they went down the line, Edward showed Molly... Oh no. I just don't like picturing this in my head. The island had to offer. From Henry's Forest to Bluff's Cove. It should go without saying that Molly enjoyed herself, enjoyed every bit of the tour. as did the passengers. And late that evening, Sir Topham Hatt was speaking to the two engines. He was very pleased. "We're done to both of you," he was saying.
Go.
Edward and Molly felt very proud of themselves indeed. And when night fell, Molly invited Edward to spend the night at Knapford Sheds.
Oh boy, oh boy!
Oh no!
Which
We
he-
got this.
The hub theme. Cue the hub theme.
Thanks
My
again for
man,
showing me around
my
Sodor, Edward, Molly thanked. Everything was beautiful. Thanks, said Edward, but not as beautiful as you. Oh my fucking god.
Oh.
Edward suddenly realized what
Just-
he just said. I'm sorry, did he say that out loud? He asked. Molly laughed. You're really witty, Edward, she giggled. I like you. Edward's face went as red as James. I like you too, Molly, he smiled. And as the two engines fell asleep that night, I can assure you that Edward the Blue Engine, the number 2 engine on the Northwestern Railway of Sodor, felt very happy to have found someone to call his own. That's a really long name. That how they address him. Edward the Blue
that's
Engine,
too
the
long.
number
Just
2 engine
Edward the
on
Blue
the
Engine.
Northwestern Railway of Sodor. What the
Okay.
fuck?
But
Where-
all right, so after the all right, we gotta give our after. So, which out of the two do you like more?
I hated
Being a
both of
simp
them.
or Edward?
I hated both of them.
Edward being a simp. Which, if you had to pick, which would you pick? James or Edward being a simp? Personally, I go with James because that fits him.
Well,
Yeah,
Edward's
James.
starving,
He
so
makes sense.
Edward, no.
Why would Edward be looking for
I
a
swear.
relationship? Like, that's what I don't understand.
My man was
he's like-
real horny.
Alright. So,
Alright.
I'm gonna end this video, because, but, we really hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our channel if you want to, and this is Taillamp Studios.
LBSC 71, Trackside Studios 06, and the Green Caterpillar. And we're
Sodor
done.
Caterpillar.
Goodbye. My apologies. There's too many of them.
Oh yeah, true. Anyway, we will see you guys later. Peace.
2 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3.
We'll take it to the harbor and dump it in the sea.
I won't hold Boko's dirty truck.
Are you afraid of bees?
A lady in a green floppy hat, those little demons.
It's just a neck.
Teasing Gordon would be much better fun.
Pick up your coaches one by one. No, Bill, this lot's useless for scrap.
Gordon, you missed your path.
Gordon never comes on the branch lines.
The diesel looked up.
Do you mind?
It's not fair.
What isn't fair?
We're sorry, Mr.
Boko will let you pull his trucks sometimes.
I won't run on branch lines.